here today to also talk about her career trajectory and her work in the XR industry. And I will let Nathalie take it away.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Robin. So I'm just going to give a short overview of Robin's bio. She's an entrepreneur, producer, and musician innovating on the cutting edge of immersive game development and storytelling. She has also released several albums and EPs and toured for major national acts. And she's also an audio designer and composer for numerous game titles. So you will hear a little bit about her careers first. And then as a pioneer in virtual reality, she has also led her company, 3 Pond Games, into the XR space. And they have developed several applications that she will talk about: Space Dragon, Slime Rancher VR, Playground, Vault of Star, and more recently, GroKit and GroKit Core, a new tool for developing immersive application using some AI. So welcome, Robin. And
hello.
Yes, so we would like to hear, you had such an interesting career. How did you get to go from being a, Riot Grrrl and Motorola engineer into the XR space?
Let me share my screen, shall we? Hang on a
Yes,
second.
yes.
Gotta find the right button. There we go. Hang on. My hair was driving me crazy. Hi, everybody. Great to be here today. I do have a vast and wild and wacky background, and I hope you do too. So join me on this exciting adventure of making this deck, to be honest with you, because it's really fun to go back and look at all the stuff that you've done and think about the ways that they influenced your life. It's kind of a guide of what we're going to talk about today, just a little bit of my background. I'll try to touch on a few different areas and some of the important things that I've learned out of doing all of this and how you can leverage some of this for your future careers. This was my life. Some people in this audience may remember things like this wall of 272 parts at Radio Shack. Radio Shack used to be cool, kids. I hate to tell you this, but once upon a time, it was really fun to go in there and buy electronic parts and put stuff together. We could build anything you wanted to because you could look in books and learn about how chips worked and gates and just amplifiers, all kinds of neat stuff, and you could build whatever you wanted to. Like the world was your toolbox if you knew how to go to Radio Shack and buy the right stuff. That's what I did as a child. Is I was always building things. I was terrorizing every device in the household with a screwdriver. I needed to take it apart, put it back together, try to build something cooler. I was obsessed with computers and electronics, which led to engineering degree, which led to the first real job at Motorola. It was the dream job. That was also used to be cool. There was a chipset, the 6809 chip was the quintessential, oh my God, this thing could do anything. And this is the start of it all. This was like that revolution, the early days of all of computer systems really taking off and becoming ubiquitous, and what you see today and what you experience today with every device you touch all started back in these days when people were just building stuff from scratch and putting it together and hacking and fracking and freaking and all kinds of fun words. But also, I'm a musician. And when I was young, I didn't know that people didn't just write songs all the time. I didn't realize that. So when I got out in the world and I was doing engineering, I kind of wanted to get back to that at some point. It was, something I've always loved, something I've always wanted to do more of. And so I did that. And while I was in Motorola, which is down in South Florida, I started a band, and that band started to take off, and pretty soon we were one of the biggest bands in South Florida. And it's just a wall of crazy advertisements that you see in the back of the magazines, like the New Times or the local, you can tell with the black and white, and it's the back of those magazines. It's a lot of fun stuff.
It's
Amazing. I mean,
great.
I've even played
It's
with a
amazing.
flock of
You
seagulls.
kept all of those? Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many more too. That's the scary part. Like I had a tough time choosing which ones to put on here.
Mm. For how long did you tour? And
It was like probably the 1990s. So it's probably this band was probably about 10 years in the running.
oh wow.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time for properties to develop. So by the time you're talking about, touring with Monster Magnet or being in Metal Edged with, like all kinds of cool people, this this is a lot of years of work. And it
Mm,
always seems like when you see a band or an act or even like a movie star, they've been at it for a very long time. They're not a one-hit wonder. They actually spent a lot of years developing that property. You just don't know about it. You only heard about a piece of it. So it's fun to look back at these photos and just see how crazy some of this stuff was and how much everybody's just a bunch of people who are talented people, and they're not, you know, nobody's evil, nobody's this, nobody's
mm.
that. They're just musicians who are doing their bit.
Yeah, so from the engineering kind of environment to the musician environment, you met like very different people as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's true, and also some of the same people.
Mm,
Um, so every band had someone like me. Every band had a person who had an engineering background or some sort of technical background in some kind of degree like that, and then they also did music. It's a really common
mm.
thing. So when you're on tour, it's great for me because I would find that person and we would nerd out for the entire tour, and it was very enlightening because I'd learn all about another business domain that if they were the keyboard player for Marilyn Manson, industrial engineer, incredibly intelligent guy.
Mm.
Man, wow. I mean, we would have these awesome conversations in a tour bus, and you would never think that. You would never think that when you saw the shows. So it's fun to think about how everybody has these various perspectives, and if you have one of those, like don't hide it, like tell people about it because they probably do too.
Yeah, art and tech, even nowadays, like they are merging. So, um, and how did you end up from, touring into uh, the current? I know it's
Right,
a
right.
jump in
Well, so
time,
this is
but
like
what
this is
happened?
well, that's just it. Like you cut a bunch of albums. This is even these are like the major produced albums, right? This one was produced by Christopher Anna from Nine Inch Nails, with cover artist Mark Ryden, and and then you've made it when you're tattooed on people's arms. Um, But you got to think about the fact that you do these types of careers. These are super fun. They run their course. Sometimes it's timing. My band, like that band specifically, was right on the edge of being big. We were we were just not, I would say, at the right time. There were definitely some configuration issues with the band itself. It was very primarily me and my singer. A bit of a revolving door on other players. That's a problem, if you
Mm,
can't find the right team. And I leveraged so much knowledge around team fit and thinking about how you make sure that everybody knows what the deal is. This is a big problem in the music career. You'll hear this a lot of this musician suing this musician. Oh, what? How come they didn't know what the plan was or what the deal was? It's because you get together and it's a fun project. You're like, we're going to make something cool. This is our heartfelt vision. which happens in VR also.
Mm.
We're building these passion projects. We're trying to solve major world issues, and you're not thinking about the fact that the person sitting across from you who is aligned in mission may be thinking differently about the outcome of what's going to happen with this project. And you need to write that down. You need to talk about that immediately. We're sitting down, we're going to work on this project together. If we make this project, what happens? So who owns this project? What are we going to do in 5 years? How are we going to fund it? Where are we going to go with it? What are the roles that you and I and maybe this other person, what roles are we going to play in a company if we take this to the next step? How's that going to play out? And those are hard conversations to have
Yes.
because you just want to have fun and you just want to build cool stuff. And nobody wants to do the boring business stuff, but it's kind of important. And I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I remember some cases in my career where I ended up with talking to a lawyer because we didn't have those clear agreements from the beginning. So yeah. Um,
Yeah,
um,
it's extraordinarily valuable to get into that quickly and make sure you're on the same page, not just from a passion project standpoint, but also from a business, where are we going with this project?
yeah, yeah.
And
And it
if the
is, yeah.
person doesn't want to do it, then that's fine. But
Yeah, and especially in the XR landscape, which is very volatile and there are ups and downs. It's important to know where you stand. So how did you get started with like the 3 Pound Games company first and then 3 Pound XR? Um,
so in between touring and this and that, I've always done engineering work. I was, I moved out to California. Uh, Pretty soon I found myself running an internet incubator corporation in Santa Monica with 6 sub companies under me while I'm waiting to go on tour. It's all very complex from the balancing standpoint, but I've always kept a leg in kind of that engineering, company building, solving big problems space, and a leg in music.
mm,
And when you start looking at that balance, um, you almost had to keep them separated back in that day, because what are you talking about? You're talking about websites, you're talking about Java enterprise application development, and a lot of those don't allow for that type of creative space. They allow for creative space and problem solving. So you get to scratch that itch there, but you don't get to pull it all together. And at some point, 2016, 2017, I meet Chris Castaldi, and he, is pushing the, oh, there's this Vive, this is Vive, and you should check this out. And I've always been such a big Viewmaster, 3D, anything I could put 3D glasses on, I was into it. The endless amount of those stereogram books and that sort of thing. And I fell in love. I'm like, VR, this is it. This is where we're going. This is the culmination of everything I've ever worked for right here. But if any of you have ever tried to use one of those Vives back in the day, you opened it up. There was about 13 little boxes. You had to open each box up, and you had to drill holes in the wall. You had to run you had to have a beefy computer. And by the time you do all this, you're like, this is not commercially viable right now. But you can see the promise. You can see this is gonna happen. This is gonna be a big thing, and people are gonna get this, and all the possibilities are there. Everything you've ever imagined from any sci-fi show where, but Star Trek, and they land on this planet and nobody knows how to do a certain thing, and they put on a helmet and boom, now I know it. Or The Matrix, or all of these things are now possible just by this technology. And you can seal this. It's very exciting. And here you are in 2017 thinking, well, what do I do? Because this isn't commercially viable. No normal human is going to be able to put up with installing all this stuff or keeping all these updates going. And how are we going to get from here to there? And
yeah.
sure, a lot of it lands on those hardware manufacturers to figure out better ways. But the Quest was coming. Like you know that there's going to be a mobile form fit for this, and it was just a matter of time. So we just started basically. This is actually, I think I'm wearing I think this is a Rift probably. Yeah, you can see the cable
Yeah,
right there.
looks like
Yeah.
a rift. Yeah.
Yeah, and here I am doing what is essentially a mixed reality shoot, right? Back then, and yet we are talking mixed reality today. Now, of course, I'm cheating, right? This external camera with a green screen, um, but we've always had all these capabilities, and the problem is just making it accessible for everyone to use. So one of the first things that we did in XR was to start looking at movement. It's a big problem.
Mm.
I don't like teleportation. It's boring. It immediately takes me right out of the immersive environment because I just teleported here. That's not real. That doesn't feel good. It has its uses for sure in a couple of those very specific edge cases where you just have to do that. And for people that can't handle movement, of course. So we really started deeply exploring different types of movement systems, and we put out the first movement system for the touch, the go, and steam. That's back in the day terminology, right?
Yes,
Um,
I
and
still
out
have
all this
some of
great
those
movement,
headsets.
right? I'm sure like a lot of people have them on their shelves.
Yeah.
So this allowed us to experiment with a lot of different movement systems and just try out things that we wanted to do. Drag movement, that is what Gorilla Tag uses today, is basically drag movement. So all of these things were in our movement system, and you could buy it back in 2017. It's kind of crazy to think about this. This has, of course, been updated multiple times for all the different headset updates and all that. Here's a little quick overview of the types of music movement and how we were classifying them from kind of that motion sick, are you going to feel good about this kind of thing? We felt that flight was the way to go. Flight is amazing. Like, why would I use my legs in VR when I could fly? So we got very hooked on our own flight movement system,
Yeah.
which led to
Um,
Space Dragon.
Just curious, how did you test all those movements? How did you kind of evaluate if they were making people sick, or was it just in-house? Did you have external people coming and like throw up in the
Right.
basket? Or
Right. Fortunately, creative director Cordelia Wolf was one of those people that was extremely prone to motion sickness in VR. So she became quite the guinea pig for these movement systems. And we learned from that too, that it wasn't just about picking the right movement system. It's a combination of a lot of things. Pick the right movement system for the application that you're doing, and speed, and um, and just habituating the user into the application in a cadence. So, like the Pimsleur method of learning, you teach somebody something, and there's a repetition, and there's a length of time that you want to teach them something and then like teach it to them again. So you want to do short-term memory, long, drive it home, drive it into that long-term memory. And even that is true with the movement system, because not only are we teaching you, wow, you can move in VR, you can do this, intention, your intention, the way that you point, the way that you want to go, where your head is going, these things all matter in VR as you're moving, so that we're locking your brain and your body and saying, you are moving, it's okay, everything's good, don't worry about it. While we're doing all that, you're also pressing a lot of buttons. So there's a lot to learn here at the same time. And that means we're having to tap into a lot of different parts of your brain to trick you, to get you just used to it, to get you comfortable. And if you're comfortable, you're going to be more open to learning. You think about how many times you've walked into a classroom to learn some complex subject matter, and if the teacher's kind of scary to you and unfamiliar and you've never met anyone in the class before, you're going to struggle learning that subject way more than if you and six of your best pals all took the same class together. Oh, and it's with that professor we had last year. because you're already primed, you're already ready to go. You're like, yeah, this would be great. You know, I'm not afraid to ask questions. Everything's cool. So we kind of had to tap into a lot of those areas. And then so we used internal people to guinea pig test on. We built an entire methodology around movement. We, built an application called VRC Legs with that in mind, that this was a way to get users into VR and get them trained on VR. And that's been leveraged a lot in all of our industrial type of work, anything medical, hospitality, manufacturing, you name it. We've really leveraged that knowledge in those spaces to get new users into XR much faster.
Yeah, the onboarding part. Okay, let's speak about Space Dragon and some of those.
Space Dragon. Yeah, so Space Dragon, this is back in 2018, 2019, something like that. We put this out for the Rift, the Steam, that sort of thing. Arcade shooter, it's a bullet hell. Performance is fun, people. Let me tell you, I had a lot of problems with putting too many shots on the screen and too many explosions at one time. These things happen. This was a great exercise for us in really learning optimization and really figuring out how far we could push this technology. On the PC devices, we could obviously go a lot more higher profile on explosions and make everything crazier and everything. Right around the time when we decided to pull this into the Quest, now we had to figure out how we're going to make it fit in a small little box. So these were great projects to do, not only because they're fun and because you learn a lot about using your own systems, but also because you learn about all the different technologies and how you're going to navigate through technologies and leverage like the best of each types of headsets and like the combination of other people's technologies, because it isn't just about one system. When you're building an XR application, you're using a lot of different blocks from a lot of different companies,
plugins and
right?
Yeah.
And we also did some partner work too, where we did Slime Rancher VR Playground. So we took our movement system, we leveraged that to work with Monami Park and bring Slime Rancher into XR back in 2018. It's crazy talk, I know. Uh, this on the Quest would be great today. It would have been a hard one to pull this off back in the early days of the Quest because it just wasn't powerful enough for Slime Rancher. But this gave us a big lesson learned of working with a partner, working with a known IP, taking something that was a flat game and then pulling it into, XR. So even though it's a 3D game, you still run into those things where maybe that isn't double-sided over there and now you walked behind it. Oops. You get a lot of interesting things that you learn when you work with partners too, just in how to work with other partners on their passion projects. Because it's not quite the same. It's not like you're like taking a deal with Ford and you have to work through all the logistics of working with a major company like that. It's working with another creator who has passion and vision and kind of rules around their own IP and what they would really like and not like and how they want you to handle their property. And at some point in all of this, I also had to learn this other important lesson. And you think I would have learned this back in the music days, but I did not. And that is, you got to get out of the house, people. So Oculus Connect, what an incredible event this was back in the day. It still is. It still is. Don't get me wrong. But it was open to the public in these days. Oculus Quest 5, 6, 7. These were just incredible events, and the opportunity to get out there and talk about what you're doing and meet other nerds in what was kind of a safe space too. One problem nerds have in general is you don't really want to talk about your tech passions with common people because they look at you like, why are you into this? Or or it just takes too much time. It takes too much time to try to explain what you're talking about. This is such a gateway to being able to talk to regular people about your technology and about what you're doing. And I threw this in here not only as just a callback to the past, but also a call of action to the people in this community of get out there and go to these things. Go hang out with people in this community. This is the most open, amazing, incredible collaborative community I've ever seen in my life. And this is where you can practice. This is where you can hold each other accountable. We've all seen this. Natalie, I'm sure you've seen this too, right? Where y- people, you talk to people at one of these conferences like AWE, and they tell you all about this great project they're working on. And then what happens next year? You see them again. They don't want to come to you and tell you how they didn't finish it or how it isn't published yet. They get it done because the next time they talk to you, they want to be able to tell people that they completed it. So it creates this incredible community of people that are pushing each other and helping each other. And how can I help you out? And how can I be involved? And I really can't say enough about this
Yeah,
type of
and
environment that we have.
the thing that is worth mentioning also is that because it was new technology, and even if like large companies got involved pretty early, the indie community has been really large, and mostly it's the indie community that created all the first apps and all the first content and all of this. So even if
Right.
nowadays, it's kind of more corporate, but yeah, definitely.
Right, still at the roots, still at the roots of all of this. Look at yourself, right? Like you're teaching this, and I've known you for how many years? Like six,
Yeah,
seven?
I don't
Like,
know which Oculus Connect. I don't remember which one.
right? It's one of these way back there, and this has been true for a lot of my friends in the early days in XR. Where are they now? They're the
Yeah.
ones that are the VP of something fancy at a major corporation because now they're into immersive design and experiences, or they're teaching at the colleges, like bringing up the next generation. These connections matter so much. This is where you're planting the seeds with people of what you're capable of doing, what you're passionate about doing, where you're trying to go. And it's okay if it changes. It's okay if you go to a conference today and you tell me that you're into medical health care and that's what you really want to do with your life. And then next year you completely change your mind. That's fine. Just keep swimming.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about your latest work. Yeah.
So yeah, well, Balta Stars, it was another early project, super incredible immersive design. We've gotten a lot of partnership opportunities with Meta from our work as well. Lots of cool, beautiful stuff going on there. Here's a whole kind of pile of things that we've done. Um, in here also, you'll see that there's a lot going on with manufacturing, medical.
Yeah, you also have
Um,
regular clients, right?
Let me pull
You
that. Hmm.
don't do just fun games. You need to have regular clients.
Yeah, it's a nice balance. We take things on that we're interested in, that we want to work with.
Mhm.
And I look very much for alignment with clients as well. I don't want to work with people that I don't want to work with. And I know that sounds it sounds like it's easy to say, but the reality is anybody can do that. And unless you're desperate and you need to take that job, if you get that feeling like, I don't want to work with this person, don't do it. Just don't do it. There'll be a better gig right around the corner. And when you work with people that you like working with, you build really long term, awesome relationships with.
Mm.
And maybe some little project that you did, and maybe it wasn't that big of a deal, but you got that experience of working with that team. You got that accomplishment of getting that project done. And 5 years from now, some of those people in that project might be doing something else, and you might do something with them again. So you never
Yeah.
know how things are going to work out. But if you can definitely, if you can pick who you work with now and think about that future of where you want to go and just keep collecting experience because it all comes in so handy. If
Yeah.
you look at some of the stuff that we've done, I mean, everything that we've done in gaming applies directly to everything we've done outside of gaming.
Yeah.
And we just leverage
Just
it back and forth.
briefly, could you briefly describe, like in the manufacturing and medical field, do you do mostly training application with XR? What, just just to understand
Hmm.
a little bit better.
Yeah, some of these things like this one over here is this was intended for what would be called supplier vetting. So you get you get these situations where people take a job and they either don't have the skills that they said they did, or they really didn't think about what this job entailed. In manufacturing, it's really loud in there. You go walk the floor at Ford. Oh my God. You know, you better be prepared for that. And if you're someone that can't handle that, you're not going to last 2 days, and that's not good for you. It's certainly not good for the person that's trying to hire you. I've heard horror stories of people who have taken jobs where they were asked, you know, can you climb up a big ladder and go stand on this platform that's pretty high up? And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely, I can do it. And when you get 30 people in who are supposed to go do that job, like 20 of them drop out because they really couldn't. So using XR for that was a great way to kind of vet people and be like, could you really handle how loud this is in here? Like, you know, or you do actually have a fear of heights, and you maybe you don't really know how bad it is until you get there. So some of those were about, you know, that angle of it, less so about training. And
Mm,
in medical, they've leaned more into the direct training, as long as it's not something that's going to tap into a HIPAA compliance issue. So a lot of times we're talking about XR and the older projects. You're kind of going from this circle and you're going inward into the more deep areas. It's tougher to get XR adoption in like deep inside of companies. It's easy to pick off the outer edges. So you'll see a lot of things in medical that are focused on, uh, you know, nurse and primary care technicians,
mm,
things that are outside of direct patient care.
mm,
So right? And I'm sure you've seen a lot of those types of projects. We're going to be seeing more and more of those get deeper into direct patient care as the adoption grows, and as there are studies out there that prove that, you know, this actually improves efficacy. And there's a lot of them out there right now. There's a journal that was put out by Mark Zhang that's focused on publishing some of these publications. The IVRA, International Virtual Reality Healthcare
yeah.
Association, we're partners with them. They're all driving a lot of these missions. And of course, there's a ton of these other organizations that do that for manufacturing and other areas. So these are also great things to tap into as well. Is if you're deeply interested in a certain business domain, start looking for those organizations. Start getting involved with them. You know, if you don't have the money to join them, volunteer. They would love your help.
Great. We have about 10 minutes left. Do you want to talk about GroKit? Yeah, perfect.
So let's talk about GroKit. So where did GroKit come from? GroKit came from a lot of all these lessons learned. How are we going to get people into XR? If I've been in this for this long and we're still not in this mass adoption yet, why is that? Part of it's the form factor of the headsets, part of it's the movement issues and people having preconceived notions, and some of it's just training. It's really wild to think about. Humans have always operated with their eyes and their hands. Go grab me the hammer, go do this, swing the thing, and everything's always been this physical, go do things. Then we all got hooked on computers. Now we all did the mouse and keyboard thing. Then the iPad and the iPhones came along, and then pretty soon it's pinch, zoom, swipe, keyboard, mouse are out. Yet these things are embedded into your idea of how it is you interface with computers,
Mm,
which XR comes along and we're saying, no, no, use your hands. Do it, do what you should do naturally. And we actually have to teach people now to go back to using their hands.
mm,
Because ultimately, what we're trying to do with technology is we're trying to get it closer and closer to being as natural as possible. Any old movie, Johnny Mnemonic,
mm.
they would show you these things, and we could do those things. Why aren't we just doing them right now? A lot of it's because you're not used to it, or the contrast ratio isn't good enough in mixed reality for you to be able to really realistically read a screen for like 4 hours at a time, stuff like that. I've tried doing deep music editing while in a headset. It's not easy to do, in part because the intensity of the way that you're staring at the screen, a virtual screen, the fact that I have to use my mouse and keyboard, I
Yeah.
can't, there isn't an easy way to get all those good button controls, right? So GroKit is an attempt at getting people using their hands, doing simple things, doing simple gestures, understanding the gestures, knowing how to move their hands the right way. If you ask somebody to pinch, some people do this, some people do this. If you ask somebody to do a fist, some people do this, some people do this. So there's a lot of things that you have to consider when you're trying to get people those hand gesture things. So we built an entire system around let's teach people how to do VR, in XR. So this is a mixed reality first, hand tracking only, multiplayer with deterministic physics using the scene understanding. So like your room matters, your desk matters. You play the game, you shoot that fire demon, it hits your desk, it crashes. Everybody saw and felt that happen, your desk. And that makes it, now it's present. Now you feel like you're really there. Now you feel like your friends are actually playing with you. Kind of changes everything. And this technology is what will take off in the training spaces when you talk about bringing a bunch of people in and having them be paramedics or firefighters or things that you would do in group actions, because oftentimes you're not alone when you're training. You're not just, go learn a task and go do a task. It's usually with other people, and you're usually communicating, collaborating with other people and getting life pro tips. So we want
Yeah.
to leverage that as well. And GroKit's kind of the basis for how you would even do that. And we started as a game, of course, because that's fun and we could leverage our overall properties.
Yeah.
Uh,
And multiplayer, you said, was this for Quest, or was that like what are the challenges on multiplayer in VR?
Yeah, this is designed for the Quest 3 because we're
Mm,
using scene
okay.
understanding. We the Quest 2, you can play it on the Quest 2, but you're going to lose a couple features. So anything that really leverages that cutting edge stuff that you can get in the latest headsets, you'll lose those features, but you can certainly play in mixed reality, grayscale on Quest 2, in virtual reality, no problem. You lose the desk because they don't exist. That's not a thing. But like the Quest 3S will have that different way to do the room scanning. So it'll work on all those, of course. And, challenges are always going to be things like mixed reality, multiplayer. When you finger hand tracking gestures, when you talk about sending those across the network, how much data am I sending across that network? That's a lot of fingers. It's not just the fingers, it's every single joint, right?
Mm,
It's your head position, it's everything. It's all these fireballs that are shooting out. Everything has to sync across all these rooms. So performance can become a really big issue. And we actually did a GDC talk on this game specifically last year, and that's one of the big topics, is how do you reduce that head load on a Quest headset so we can make sure that all of this would work. And we found some really good tricks in reducing the amount of data that we're sending across the network with our hands, and picking and choosing what's client side and what's server side, to make sure that we're not just sending stuff just to send stuff. We're making sure that we only send key information that keeps the presence and keeps everything in sync.
thank you. Let's talk about GroKit Core.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
slide. I'll slide on.
perfect.
There was some more pictures from some other. This is a cool hospitality project up here.
Mm,
All the onboarding for major hospitality in Las Vegas. Cool stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Sometimes you get into these projects and you just don't even realize how deep and complex some business domains are until you get into them. And I absolutely enjoy just gobbling up all that information at all costs, because every time you learn a new business domain, it's going to help you in the next thing that you do.
mm.
So how did we get to GroKit Core? After doing all of these things, you start to get a lot of people asking you to help you with their project. Like, can you build this for me? Can you build that for me? And yeah, we can, but there's only so many of us, and that doesn't scale. And if you look at the big picture, that's not going to grow the XR ecosystem. I've seen many companies go and outsource, hire another company to build their XR application, and then that company has no idea how to update it. They don't know how to onboard people. They don't know how to do anything. All they know is they have an XR application now, and that is a much bigger systemic problem that's going to stop adoption. And I've seen it. I've seen it happen. The
Oh
other
yeah,
problem
especially
is,
when you have to upgrade to the next headsets and the next
yeah,
headsets and yeah.
right, you're screwed. You're 100% screwed in that moment. You can't do anything. You're paralyzed, and a lot of companies go out of business because of that. They'll start up a project, or maybe they'll find, one developer or two developers, and now they've got kind of an okay application as opposed to a really solid application. And then, right, Meta drops another SDK and everything's broken. And that poor person's just pulling their hair out. And it takes them 3 months to figure out what the problem is because they're working alone or they're working in such a small team. And this is just wrecking people right and left. So our solution was to replicate us, to take what we've learned, put it all in a box and say, well, okay, we've always built modularly. We've always built from the standpoint of object-oriented design because we're a small company and we have deep engineering roots. And we know how important this is, that you need to be able to reuse your own code, to be able to just click a few boxes to configure something and not have to go recode everything all the time. That's just silly. So why wouldn't we share this with the world? So that's what GroKit Core is it's the combination of, let me slide over to this one actually. It's kind of the everything. It's the, how do you integrate with everybody? How do you get to that next step? How do you do networking without having to learn everything about networking? So we have a ton of core systems and libraries of things that we've already built. We've dog fooded every single system in every one of our previous games. So everything in GroKit the game is really a dog fooding adventure for GroKit Core. When we try out a new system, we stick it over there. We figure out, can we make this work? How does it work? What are the problems with it? Can we give feedback to that manufacturer of that headset for their SDK? Can we get something fixed from them? And then bring it up to speed and keep going with it. And it creates a nice little wall for stopping those issues. So Meta drops a new SDK, we know GroKit the game isn't going to get updated until GroKit Core has had a chance to figure out, is there any issues with it? Are there any problems? Do we need to give feedback? Do we need to make any major changes in the systems? Make those major changes in the systems here, then we can put it over into the games or into the other
Yeah,
XR
so basically
applications.
it's like a meta layer that is used as a higher layer coding interface instead of having
Right,
to code
right.
at the low level. We would want to wrap it up to allow some time for questions. Do you want to um,
Yeah, I guess
or
I'll
tell
let me
us,
slide
if
back. Let
it's
me slide back to this guy
available?
for a second. So
Yeah.
this is the difference between, when I say I'm the CEO of 3 Pound Games and 3 Pound XR. So 3 Pound XR, what we've done is kind of separated these brands a little bit into the 3 Pound XRs where we sell GroKit Core, we do consulting to make sure that we can make really successful companies doing spatial computing, and we've really we're doing a lot of hackathons. We have a meta hackathon, sorry, we have a hackathon for us coming up in December. I'll give you guys the details for that so you can socialize it. There's going to be an IVRA hackathon that we're also involved in, and we'll be doing, handing out GroKit Core. We've had a ton of students being successful in hackathons using our systems. So we're really pushing to get adoption on that because we want people to have their idea and be able to actually finish it in a reasonable amount of time. Block it out, get it started, get it going. And that's what GroKit Core does for you. It lets you build much faster. So please do sign up for that. We'd love to see more students in there, and I'll give you guys lots of information on that stuff so you can. There's a QR code right there if anybody wants to grab that.
And do you want to go about some of the lesson learned, or do we want to open it to question, Eileen? How?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk about lessons learned. There's so many lessons that have been learned over these years. The right team, the right fit. I can't stress that enough. Alignment. If you get that funny feeling of, I don't know about this person, I don't know about that, talk to them. Don't run away from that conversation. Building applications. Don't just jump right in. Plan. Break your project down into those core components. Look around it. Like, what else does that? How do they do that? Like, why did they choose this over that? And if you can, like, reach out to those people, and don't be afraid to go out and just talk about what you're doing. I know it's a scary topic because most of us are introverts. If you're working on computers a lot, you're probably an introvert, and you probably don't want to talk to humans. But that's the beauty of XR. You can pop into XR Women. I'm a leader in XR Women. Just pop in there. You can come talk to women all the time about XR. There's a lot of incredible people working in this industry who are more than happy to sit down and have a 15 or 20-minute conversation with you about what you're doing and give you career advice.
Thank you so much. This was awesome experience sharing and tools and everything. So do you want to stop sharing your screen and we will open it up to questions? And Eileen, I will let you manage that.
Sure. Yeah. So I wrote in the chat too, folks, if you have questions, you can write them in the chat and we can read them out, or feel free to use the little raise hand if you want to ask yourself. But we have one in the chat already. Monica, who's a PhD student here, asked, what advice would you give to women in early career XR?
Well, first of all, join XR Women. Absolutely. I should have put a QR code in there for that, but I will share that after the thing. It's an incredible organization. It's a way for women to just come in and give presentations and boost each other up and help each other out. We have student chapters starting up. We have one in Ringling College right now. We have a second one starting up at another college. You might even be interested in being a leader over here and starting up a student chapter for Extra Women. That would be incredible. It's taking charge. It's just going for it. Like, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about the fact that you're a woman. Leverage the fact that you're a woman. Leverage the fact that you could probably go talk to any other woman in this industry just because you're a woman. Do it. We're all banding together here.
Great. And then my colleague Antonio has a question.
Hi, Robin. I'm Antonio. I'm the chair of the Department of Theater here at Northeastern, and I'm one of the people that has leading this launch of an undergraduate degree in performance and XR. So your talk has been fascinating to me. I wonder if you could talk a bit more about how you see in your experience the integration of your artistic sensibility as a musician into your technology sensitivity as a programmer and your entrepreneurship as an innovator. I find that integration fascinating.
That's fun. So, do you know about FMOD?
No.
This is like the quintessential when the moments all come together for you. For me, there's we have our own sound system and everything in GroKit Core, and also of course we can integrate with anything. And there's another system called FMOD that will let you do feedback loops with all the variables and everything for programming standpoint. And when you talk about integrating different types of backgrounds, I always felt that in that moment, in that my programming background, my understanding of engineering technology, understanding what's going on in the code, and then music, the fact that I could pull that together in Volta Stars. If you're flying through certain areas, like there's all these variables going on, like, oh, I went through this area, this thing went off. Okay, now that variable kicks back to the audio system over there, Fmod, and then it knows to play this one instrument, or it knows to play this thing over here and not that thing over here. So the logic behind that and the understanding of all that is a core competency of my engineering background that some people don't have in music. And I think it's really important to start cross-pollinating people with different business domains like that because of those moments. So if you think about theater and people walking through space and they're doing their stuff, okay, that's great. So if I'm just doing regular theater, a lot of times you have to use your imagination as the audience about what's going on. That, you know, oh, we're in New York now. There's just a back scene and it's just, you know, some skyline or something like that. And everything else is suspension of disbelief. Well, as a theater production person, and if you're doing XR, you know you could do a lot more than that. You know that the person can be actually pressing things and actually interacting with objects in the scene that now do stuff, that now move the story points further. But now you have to have a production team that understands that you can do that. So it's more than just the scene set switch. It's also, you know, discrete components inside of a scene set of now it's like more like you're writing music. Now it's like, oh, the engagement ramp went up this much because we hit the point where the actor is going to, you know, slap this thing down on the desk and it lights up the whole sky because it was this impactful moment. And we really wanted to drive home a key point of the story through an additional visual that you couldn't have gotten before or you couldn't have gotten without a major cost and production value. So I hope that answers that question. I'm not sure if I did, but
Thank you
And I
anyway.
see,
Fascinating.
yeah, I see a lot of people coming with very diverse background in XR because that's where really like artistic people, technical people, you know, entrepreneurship, etc., where everything meets, you know. It's a little bit like, you know, games and film. You need a bunch of different skills to combine, and it's a team effort. So that's where, like, you know, I'm very similar to Robin in that sense that I have art and tech background, and I came to XR because I suddenly saw where this is where everything was going to come together, all my skills and expertise. So
yeah, so maybe it's you know, I think what you were trying to get to is a little bit of the from the student side, right? About how do
No,
we
I just want to get to your specific experience as an artist yourself. Like how has your artistic mind informed your technology mind and your entrepreneurship, and how do those three areas can cross-pollinate in your particular personal experience?
Oh, okay. I mean, I think it just cuts across everything. When I walk into any problem, s- business, it could be the most boring topic in the world, but because of my creative background, I don't see anything as boring. I see everything as this incredible opportunity to take it apart and build it again, better, faster, newer, cooler. Like everything is this opportunity to re-engineer the world into something better.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I think we'll probably just have time for this last question here, but Juliana asked, how much has AI increased your productivity? And then also, you know, what trends do you see in the coming future in XR?
AI, wow. I mean, for myself personally, one gap I have is being able to just write really well-written documents and emails and that sort of thing. And I'll get blocked on that. It's almost like the creativity is a double-edged sword sometimes because you're like thinking of all these other things you could say. And what AI does for me in this moment, like ChatGPT, my best friend, I could just write some bullet points, just like go write me a nice letter, you know, go write me a this, go write me a that as the subject matter expert about a certain thing. So my workflow for those types of those tasks that I find challenging just because of the way that I am have increased dramatically. On top of that, with GroKit Core, this has always been part of the plan. We have AI integrations in there as a way that you can just, you know, drag in a block and go get an API key. I need this character to talk. Okay, no problem. Drag, you know, go get your key. Done. You're done. So that in itself is incredibly helpful because now we have a vast amount of AI systems that you can tap into and just try out different things, from animation to text to, you know, actual voice recognition. So we have projects where we do voice recognition and ask other characters, you know, questions about that. It goes up, rips it apart, comes back, gives a response. That just a couple of years ago was not doable. You used to do this in people were doing this in XR, and they'd have to have their character like looking at the watch just to, like, you know, bide some time for that latency time. They're like, oh, I got to go to the server and come back to you. And now it's all doable. Now it's all reasonable, and it's just increasing dramatically every day. And the ultimate goal, if you think about what we're doing with GroKit Core, every one of these configurable code block components and things that are object-oriented design pieces, the fact that we're designing it this way, the fact that it all fits together as puzzle pieces and you configure them the way that you want to configure them, means they're going to be prompt craftable in the future. Right now, the limitation on that is the fact that we're building in Unity, is the fact that we'd have to control your computer, and that's a hurdle. And then there's also just that AI requires a lot of training and arguments, and how do you make the right decisions for how you build things. So you can see that in the future, it's not going to take long for people like us and others to kind of get to that point of where you're really leveraging prompt crafting to give you that entire kickstart of your application, to where you don't really have to do very much of anything to get a basis of an application. And now you can really lay your talent onto it. So people who are very talented, like artistic skills, won't really need much engineering skills. What they need to know how to describe what they want. And if you take a fine artist, one who can really describe the light and the dark and the key things about contrast, and really describe stuff well, they can absolutely build beautiful things with AI. So unfortunately, a lot of them are a little bit anti-AI because they're always concerned about the legal side of things. And these things will work themselves out. There's always a lot. There's a lot of catching up to do with legal ramifications and whether or not the AI is actually stealing full designs or whatever. I feel like over time, we're going to get to this point of where we're all just going to be comfortable with the tool and everyone will adopt to it. And it's just another tool. It's just another tool that we all use, just like when Photoshop came into the world and artists were complaining that it was cheating, essentially. And now everyone uses it. So soon it'll be that AI isn't cheating anymore, that AI is just another powerful tool that we all use that leverages years and years and all of our experiences as humanity. And you can take advantage of that. It's the people that wield that power are the ones that are going to be able to build the coolest stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So everyone, please join me in thanking Robin for such a thought-provoking and fascinating presentation and discussion. And a big thanks to Nathalie for organizing and hosting this from the Northeastern University Oakland campus. I want to highlight, please save the date for our winter and spring talks coming up. The next one we'll have is hosted by our colleagues from the Northeastern London campus, Nathan O'Grady from King's Inter High. And then we have them in a couple in February, one in April. So we're looking forward to seeing you then. And I put a couple links in the chat about our graduate and undergraduate programs in XR. As Antonio mentioned, he is launching a performance in XR bachelor's program, and then we have the master's in extended reality. So please check those out too. So thank you everyone for joining, and we're looking forward to seeing you in January.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I just posted the hackathon in the chat and I'll put some links there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.